Captain Marcus Thompson stood on the bridge of the U.S. Resilience, watching the stars change color through the viewport. The ship had been traveling for weeks to reach this place. Today was the most important day in human history. They were about to meet aliens for the first time. The ship was bigger than anything humans had ever built. It was painted white and gold, with the Earth flag on both sides. Inside, 300 people worked to make sure everything was perfect. They had practiced this moment many times. "Sir, we can see it now," said Lieutenant Commander Lisa Brooks. She pointed at the screen. A huge structure floated in space ahead of them. It was bigger than Earth's moon. The surface was smooth and shiny, covered in lights that moved like waves. Marcus had been chosen to lead this mission because he was calm and smart. He had commanded starships for 20 years, but nothing had prepared him for this moment. His hands were sweating, even though the ship was cold. "How many ships do you count?" he asked. 47, sir," Brooks replied. "All different shapes and sizes. They look like they come from different species." Dr. Peter Hayes stood next to them, holding a tablet. He was the team's alien expert. He had spent his whole life dreaming about this day. His eyes were wide with excitement. "Look at those designs," he whispered. "Each ship is so different. They must have different ways of traveling through space." Ambassador Helen Garcia walked onto the bridge. She wore her finest dress uniform, covered in medals and symbols. She carried a golden case that held humanity's most important documents. These papers asked for Earth to join the Galactic Council. "Are we ready, Captain?" she asked. Marcus nodded. "The ship is clean. The crew knows their jobs. We're as ready as we can be." Garcia smiled, but she looked nervous too. "Remember, we're here to make friends. Humans have never been part of something like this before. This could change everything for our people." The communication system made a sound. A voice spoke, but it wasn't human. The words were strange, like music and wind mixed together. The computer translated it into English. "Human vessel, you are welcome. Please follow our ships to the station." 4 alien ships came close to them. They were white and smooth, shaped like tears. They moved without making any sound. They were perfect in every way. "Sir, they want us to shut down our weapons," Brooks said. Marcus thought about this. "Do it. They could destroy us easily if they wanted to. We're here to show we trust them." As they followed the alien ships, more vessels joined them. Marcus counted different types. Some looked like jellyfish made of metal. Others were long like snakes. One was shaped like a flower with many petals. "My God," Hayes said. "How many species are part of this council?" "More than we imagined," Garcia answered. "And soon, maybe, humanity will be one of them." The station grew larger as they got closer. It was covered in docks where ships could connect. Thousands of ships were there, maybe millions. Some were so large they could hold entire cities. Others were small like fighters. Commander Jake Miller looked at his screens. He was in charge of keeping the ship safe. "I don't see any weapons on any of these ships," he said. "They all look peaceful." "That's good," Marcus replied. "We came here to show we want peace too." The Resilience was guided to a special dock. This area was different from the others. It was decorated with flags from many worlds. Marcus realized this was where new members were welcomed. "This is it," Garcia said. "The moment that will change humanity forever." As the ship connected to the station, Marcus felt the vibration through the floor. Lights blinked on the control panels. The air systems made sounds as they connected to the station's life support. "All stop," Marcus ordered. "Prepare for first contact." The crew worked quickly and quietly. Everyone knew their job. They had trained for this for 3 years. The best people from Earth were on this ship. Scientists, diplomats, soldiers, and explorers. "Sir, they're asking us to prepare a delegation," Brooks said. "They want us to meet them in something called the Great Chamber." Garcia opened her golden case and checked the documents one more time. "These papers represent all of humanity," she said. our history, our culture, our dreams for the future. Today, we ask to join the galactic community. Marcus looked at his crew. These people had left their families and homes to come on this mission. They believed in a better future for humanity. Let's go meet our neighbors, he said. The great chamber was bigger than anything humans had ever seen. It was shaped like a huge ball with levels going up and down in circles. Each level had seats for different alien species. The ceiling was so high that clouds might form there. Ambassador Garcia walked slowly down the main path. Her shoes clicked on the smooth floor. Captain Thompson and Dr. Hayes followed her. Behind them came 6 other humans, the best Earth had to offer. The aliens watched them carefully. Some had tentacles instead of arms. Others had many eyes, or were covered in fur. A few looked almost human but with strange colors like blue or red skin. They all wore robes or uniforms that marked their species. Garcia felt small in this place. She carried the golden case close to her chest. Inside were documents that spoke for all of humanity. Photos of Earth, art from different cultures, music from every continent, the hopes and dreams of 8 billion people. In the center of the chamber sat a creature that looked like a tall bird. Its feathers were silver and blue. It wore a crown made of crystal. This was Chancellor Veltar of the Zenari species. He ruled the Galactic Council. Humans of Earth, the Chancellor said. His voice was like music. You have traveled far to reach us. We welcome you to our council. Garcia stepped forward. Thank you, Chancellor. We are grateful for this chance to speak with you. The Chancellor raised one wing. The chamber became silent. We have watched your species for many years. You are young but interesting. You have great potential. Garcia opened the golden case. I bring gifts from Earth, art, music, and knowledge. We hope to share our culture with yours. The Chancellor nodded. Other aliens leaned forward to look. Some whispered to each other in languages the humans didn't understand. Tell us, the Chancellor said, why should humanity join our council? Garcia spoke clearly. We offer diversity. Earth has many different peoples with different ideas. We are explorers and inventors. We want to learn from you and share what we know. The Chancellor listened. His eyes were large and bright, like stars. We have seen your wars, your conflicts, your violence. The chamber became very quiet. The humans felt uncomfortable. This was not going as they hoped. Yes, Garcia admitted, we have had wars. But we learned from our mistakes. We come to you seeking peace. An alien that looked like a walking tree spoke up. The Kythera had wars too. We rejected them when they first asked to join. Another alien, covered in scales, nodded. The Vorthan destroyed their own moon before they proved they could change. The Chancellor raised his wing again. Humanity's case is different. You still fight. Your latest war ended only 5 years ago. Dr. Hayes stepped forward. Sir, we've improved since then. We've united under one world government. We've banned all weapons of mass destruction. Have you? The Chancellor asked. His tone was cold. Our observers report differently. Captain Thompson felt his heart sink. The aliens knew more about Earth than they had thought. The Chancellor stood. He was very tall. The Galactic Council offers membership to all peaceful species, but peace must be proven, not promised. Garcia asked, what must we do? You must accept our guidance, the Chancellor explained. Our peacekeepers will come to Earth. They will oversee your military. They will stop any conflicts before they start. They will make sure your species learns restraint. The humans looked at each other. This was not what they expected. They wanted partnership, not control. You want to rule us? Thompson asked. We want to teach you, the Chancellor replied. As a parent teaches a child. You are not ready for true membership, but you can earn it. Garcia felt angry but stayed calm. How long would this take? Until you prove you are truly peaceful. Perhaps 100 years, perhaps 1,000. The humans were shocked. That was longer than recorded human history. We cannot accept those terms, Garcia said finally. The Chancellor seemed sad. Then you cannot join us. We cannot risk adding a violent species to our peaceful community. Other aliens nodded in agreement. They had all faced this same choice long ago. They understood the Council's position. Garcia closed the golden case. We need time to consider this offer. You may stay as our guests, the Chancellor said. But remember, the choice is yours. Peace under our guidance, or isolation among the stars. As the humans left the chamber, they felt the weight of failure. Their dream of joining the galaxy had become a nightmare of control and waiting. The humans sat quietly in their guest quarters on the station. The rooms were beautiful, but felt like a prison. Ambassador Garcia stared out the window at the alien ships. They looked so perfect and clean. Captain Thompson paced back and forth. Dr. Hayes was reading alien texts about Council history. The other team members talked in whispers about what they should do. We can't accept their terms, Garcia said. Earth would never agree to alien control of our military. But if we refuse, we'll be alone forever, Hayes replied. This might be our only chance to join the galactic community. Thompson stopped pacing. Maybe we should talk to Earth, get orders from. Lieutenant Commander Brooks burst into the room. Her face was white with fear. She held a communication device in her shaking hands. Sir, we're getting emergency signals from Earth. Multiple signals. Code red. Thompson took the device. The screen showed chaos. Earth's defense satellites were sending warnings. Ships were appearing everywhere. Big ships. Armed ships. Who is attacking? Garcia asked. Brooks swallowed hard. The Kreks, Mom. They're hitting Earth and all our colonies at once. The room went silent. Everyone knew about the Kreks. They were the aliens the Council had thrown out 50 years ago. They lived in ships now, taking what they wanted from weaker species. On the screen, they could see Earth burning. Cities were under attack. Orbital stations exploded in bright flashes. The Kreks ships were black and ugly, like angry insects. How many ships? Thompson asked. Thousands, Brooks whispered. They came from everywhere. Our defense fleets are scattered across the galaxy. We can't stop them all. Garcia stood up quickly. We have to get back to the Council. They'll help us. They have to. The humans ran through the station corridors. Aliens moved out of their way, wondering what was wrong. The Great Chamber was still in session when they arrived. Chancellor, Garcia shouted. Earth is under attack. The Kreks are destroying our world. The chamber became quiet. All eyes turned to them. The Chancellor's feathers ruffled slightly. We know, he said calmly. We have been watching. Garcia couldn't believe what she heard. Watching. Our people are dying. You have to help us. The Chancellor tilted his head. This is your test. How you handle this crisis will show us if humanity is ready for Council membership. Test. Thompson stepped forward, angry. Billions of innocent people will die, and you call it a test. Another alien spoke. It looked like a giant mantis. Every species faces such trials. Those who survive with honor earn their place. Those who turn to violence do not. Hayes pulled out his tablet. It showed reports from Earth. The Kreks were targeting hospitals and schools. They were killing civilians on purpose. They're trying to wipe us out, Hayes said. This isn't a test. It's genocide. The Chancellor remained calm. The Council does not interfere in such conflicts. If humanity can solve this peacefully, you will prove you are ready to join us. Garcia laughed bitterly. Peaceful? They're destroying our cities. How can we be peaceful when facing extinction? Perhaps you could negotiate, suggested a blue-skinned alien. Find what the Kreks want. Give it to them. Thompson showed them his screen. Look at this. They're broadcasting messages. They want to kill every human. All of us. They leave no room for negotiation. The Chancellor nodded slowly. Then you face a choice. Accept defeat peacefully and show your enlightenment, or fight back and prove you are still a violent species. The humans looked at each other in shock. The council was willing to let humanity die, rather than risk adding a violent species to their perfect peace. "You won't help at all?" Garcia asked. "We will watch," the Chancellor said. "We will remember how you choose to face this crisis. Perhaps when it is over, we can discuss membership again." Brooks's device beeped. More messages from Earth. Luna City was falling. Mars colonies were going dark. The Kreks were winning. "Sir," Brooks said to Thompson, "Earth Command is asking for orders. They want to know if we're staying here or coming home." Thompson looked at the council. These perfect aliens in their perfect chamber. They had probably never seen real violence. They had never faced extinction. "Tell Earth we're coming home," he said quietly. The Chancellor spoke again. "If you leave to fight, you choose violence over peace. You will prove you are not ready to join us." Garcia closed her eyes. When she opened them, they were hard as stone. "So be it. We'd rather die as humans than live as your pets." The humans left the chamber without another word. Behind them, the aliens continued their debate about trade routes and cultural exchanges. They acted like nothing had happened. As they walked back to their ship, Thompson's device showed more destruction. Earth's moon had taken a direct hit. The Kreks were using weapons that turned cities to glass. "Captain," Brooks said, "what are we going to do? Our ship isn't armed for war." Thompson gritted his teeth. "We're going to find every human ship in this sector. We're going to take anything that can fight. And we're going to show these perfect aliens what happens when you threaten humanity." Garcia added, "The Council thinks we're too violent for their club. Let them see what real violence looks like when it's used to protect what we love." The U.S. Resilience raced through space faster than ever before. Captain Thompson pushed the engines to their limit. Every second counted. Behind them, the perfect Council station grew smaller, its lights fading into darkness. In his quarters, Thompson looked at the star maps. Earth was 3 days away at top speed. 3 days while the Kreks continued their attack. His hands clenched into fists. "Sir," Brooks called from the bridge, "we're picking up human ships. Looks like the cargo vessel Horizon and 2 mining ships." Thompson ran to the bridge. On the screen, he saw 3 ships that looked nothing like warships. The Horizon was built to carry food and supplies. The mining ships were slow and heavy. "Open a channel," Thompson ordered. The screen showed a tired-looking woman with grease on her uniform. She was Captain Sarah Blake of the Horizon. "Captain Thompson, what are you doing here? I thought you were at the Council." "Change of plans," Thompson said. "Earth is under attack. We need to form a battle group." Blake laughed sadly. "Battle group? Captain, we're cargo ships. We don't have weapons." "We'll have to make some," Thompson replied. "Every human ship counts." Within hours, the ships were working together. The mining ships had powerful drills and explosive charges. The cargo ship had thick armor for asteroid impacts. Thompson's crew worked with the others to turn these peaceful ships into weapons. Dr. Hayes helped design changes to the ships. "We can mount the mining lasers as weapons," he said. "The cargo containers can be filled with explosives. It's not much, but it's something." Ambassador Garcia sat in her quarters, still wearing her diplomatic uniform. She held the golden case with Earth's petition to the Council. All that work seemed pointless now. A knock came at her door. It was Lieutenant Commander Brooks. "Ma'am, we're getting more signals from Earth. The news isn't good." Garcia opened the door. "How bad?" "Luna City has fallen. 3 billion dead. The Kreks are heading for Earth itself." Garcia closed her eyes. Luna City was where her sister lived. Had lived. "Ma'am, there's something else. We're getting signals from Colonel Sam Wright. He's in charge of Earth's defense now. He says they have a plan, that they need more ships." Garcia nodded. "Tell him we're bringing everything we can find." The next day, They found more ships, a research vessel studying nebulas, 2 exploration ships mapping new stars, even a luxury liner that was taking rich people on vacation. Captain Marcus Cole of the research ship Endeavour was an old friend of Thompson's. "Marcus, what's happening out there?" "We heard about the attacks. The Kreks want to kill us all," Thompson explained. "Every human, every child. We're gathering every ship we can to fight back." Cole looked at his peaceful research vessel. "We study stars, not war. Today we study survival," Thompson replied. "Will you help us?" Cole was quiet for a moment. Then he nodded. "My crew has families on Earth too. We'll help." More ships joined them. A hospital ship that had been treating sick colonists, military transport ships carrying supplies, even small private ships that belonged to traders and explorers. Captain Blake worked to organize them all. "We have 37 ships now. Most have no weapons. Some are falling apart." "It's what we have," Thompson said. "We'll have to make it work." The ship captains met through video links. Thompson spoke to them all. "The Council won't help us. They think we're too violent to join them. They'll watch while the Kreks kill us all." An older captain named Robert Chen spoke up. "Then we fight alone, like humans always have." "Yes," Thompson agreed. "We'll show them what humans do when our families are threatened." The ships raced toward Earth. Along the way, they found more human ships. Some were already heading home. Others were hiding, scared to fight. Thompson convinced them all to join. By the second day, they had 50 ships. By the third day, 70. None of them were real warships. Some were so old they barely worked. But they all had one thing in common: angry humans who refused to let their species die. "Sir," Brooks reported, "we're getting messages from Earth. The Kreks have landed on the surface. They're attacking New York and London." Thompson looked at the growing fleet around them. Miners, traders, explorers, researchers, not soldiers. But they were all Earth had. "All ships," he broadcast. "We're almost home. Whatever happens, we fight as one. For Earth, for humanity." The response came back from every ship. "For Earth, for humanity." On the screen, Earth appeared. The blue planet looked wounded. Black smoke covered parts of it. Enemy ships swarmed around it like angry hornets. "This is it," Thompson said quietly. "Time to show the galaxy what humans are really made of." Captain Thompson stared at the nightmare in front of them. Earth was covered in fire and smoke. Enemy ships everywhere. Black Kreks vessels moved like hungry wolves around the wounded planet. "Count of enemy ships?" Thompson asked. "Over 200, Brooks replied, her voice shaking. "They're all around Earth. Some are landing more troops." Thompson's fleet of 70 ships looked tiny compared to the Kreks armada. The human ships were small and weak. Most had no real weapons. "Sir, incoming message from Colonel Wright on Earth," Brooks said. Wright's face appeared on screen. He looked tired and bloody. Behind him, explosions lit up the sky. "Thompson, thank God you're here. We're holding but barely. The Kreks have taken most of Australia and half of Europe." "What do you need?" Thompson asked. "Everything," Wright replied. "They're preparing to attack North America. We need you to hit their supply ships. Without supplies, their ground forces will weaken." Thompson nodded. "We'll do what we can." "Thompson," Wright's voice got serious. "They're not just trying to beat us. They want to wipe us out completely. Every man, woman, and child." The connection cut as explosions shook Wright's location. Thompson turned to his crew. "You heard him. Battle stations. Signal all ships." The human fleet spread out. Each ship had a job. The mining ships would attack from below. The cargo ships would ram the enemy. The small private ships would draw fire away from the bigger ships. "Remember," Thompson broadcast to all ships, "we're not trying to win a pretty battle. We're trying to save our species. Use everything. Cheat if you have to." Captain Blake's cargo ship Horizon moved first. It was filled with mining explosives. She aimed it at a Krex supply vessel. "This is for Luna City," she said over the radio. The horizon hit the enemy ship. Both vessels exploded in a ball of light. The blast took out 2 more Krex fighters that were too close. Thompson watched his friends die and felt cold anger fill him. All ships, attack pattern Delta, hit them hard and fast. The Endeavour research ship moved like lightning. Captain Cole had turned its sensor array into a powerful laser. He cut through a Krex cruiser's engines. Academic research, Cole laughed grimly. "I'm studying how their ships explode." The mining ships used their drills on Krex hulls. The hospital ship Mercury rammed a command vessel. Its captain, Dr. Lisa Park, broadcast as she hit, "First, do no harm. But if you threaten my patients..." The battle was chaos. Human ships were outnumbered 3-1. But they fought with desperate fury. Every human had lost someone to the Krex. They fought for dead friends and family. Thompson's resilience engaged a Krex destroyer. The alien ship was bigger and better armed, but Thompson's crew knew every trick in the book. "Ramming speed," Thompson ordered. "Sir, we'll be destroyed," Brooks warned. "Maybe, but so will they." At the last second, Thompson's ship turned. It scraped along the destroyer's hull, tearing at its armor. The Resilience lost half its forward section, but the destroyer's weapons were wrecked. Small fighter ships from Earth joined the battle. They were fast and brave. Commander Danny Foster led them in suicide runs against the largest Krex ships. "Little fish can kill big sharks," Foster radioed. "Just aim for the soft spots." The Krex began to realize humans fought differently than other species. Humans didn't follow rules of war. They used desperation as a weapon. A Krex carrier released fighter swarms. The human ships formed a circle, protecting their weak. Mining charges exploded in the middle of enemy formations. "Sir," Brooks called out, "we're losing too many ships. 30% casualties." Thompson watched the Freedom, a luxury liner, break apart under enemy fire. Civilians had died to save Earth. Good people who should have been living peaceful lives. "Signal Colonel Wright," Thompson ordered. "Tell him to evacuate the injured. We'll clear a path to the moon." Thompson's ship was hurt bad. The hull was cracked. One engine was dead, but it still flew. "All remaining ships," he broadcast, "form up on me. We're going to hit their flagship." The human fleet that assembled was beaten and broken. Only 40 ships were left. Their hulls were torn. Their weapons were almost gone, but they still flew. The Krex flagship was huge. It had enough weapons to destroy cities. Around it flew dozens of smaller ships. "This is it," Thompson said to his crew. "Win or lose, they'll remember this day." Brooks smiled, blood on her face. "Sir, they already are." The remaining human ships charged forward. Behind them, Earth burned. Ahead of them waited the enemy. But they flew on, carrying hope and fury in equal measure. The flagship's guns opened fire. Space lit up with deadly light. But the humans kept coming, ready to die for their world. The human ships flew into hell. The Krex flagship's weapons lit up space like fireworks. Red energy beams cut through the darkness. Missile swarms filled the void. Thompson watched his ships die one by one. The cargo ship Atlas exploded in a burst of yellow flame. The mining vessel Iron Tooth broke in half. Good people, dead people, all for Earth. "Sir, we've lost 20 ships already," Brooks reported. Her voice was steady, but her hands shook. "Keep going," Thompson ordered. "Signal all ships. Target the flagship's bridge." Captain Cole's research ship Endeavour was burning. Half his crew was dead, but he pushed forward, using his ship's experimental laser like a sword. The beam cut deep into the flagship's armor. "This is Cole. I'm losing life support. Going to ram the forward gun array." Thompson watched his old friend die. Cole's ship hit the flagship's biggest weapon. Both exploded. The blast was so bright it hurt to look at. "He's opened a gap," Dr. Hayes pointed out. "If we can get through." "All ships," Thompson broadcasted. "Through the gap. Now." The remaining human ships charged forward. The mining ship Stonebreaker led the way. Captain Paul Warner had nothing left to lose. His home colony was gone. His family was dead. "For everyone we've lost," Warner screamed. Stonebreaker punched through the gap, its heavy armor absorbing hits. Behind it came the others, small, desperate ships carrying angry humans. Commander Foster's fighters swarmed around the flagship like wasps. They were too small for the big guns to hit. Foster himself flew straight at the ship's exhaust ports. "Fighters, drop your mines. All of them." The little ships released their weapons into the flagship's engines. The explosions made the huge ship shudder and slow. Thompson's resilience was falling apart. Half the bridge was gone. The artificial gravity failed. Bodies floated everywhere, but still it flew forward. "Brooks, get on the communication array. Send a message to the Krex commander." "Sir, what message?" "You want to kill humans," Thompson said slowly. "Here we are. Come get us." The message reached the flagship. A monster appeared on screen. The Krex commander was like a giant spider made of metal and hate. Its voice sounded like gears grinding. "Humans," it hissed, "you die well, but you still die." "We'll see about that," Thompson replied. Admiral Kate Sullivan's dreadnought Vengeance appeared from behind Earth's moon. Thompson didn't know she was coming. The big warship's guns opened fire at close range. "This is Sullivan. Sorry I'm late. Had to stop and pick up some friends." Behind her came more ships. Not many, but real warships this time. Earth's last defense fleet. The battle became a hurricane of light and metal. Ships rammed into each other. Explosions lit up space every second. The vacuum was full of debris and bodies. Captain Roger Price flew the U.S. Liberty like a bullet. His ship was old and slow, but he knew every bolt and wire. He guided it through enemy fire, heading for the flagship's bridge. "Sir, the Liberty is on a collision course with the command section," Brooks reported. On screen, they watched Price's ship take hit after hit. Its armor melted away. Its engines died, but it still flew forward. Price's last message was simple: for Earth. The Liberty smashed into the flagship's bridge. The explosion cracked the great ship in half. Both sections tumbled through space, bleeding air and flame. Around them, the Krex fleet began to pull back. Without their flagship, they had no leader. Some ships tried to flee. Others fought to the death. Thompson looked around. Of 70 ships, only 12 were left. They were broken, bleeding, barely flying. But they had won. "Sir," Brooks said softly, "we're getting signals from the surface. The Krex ground forces are retreating. Without support from space, they can't stay." Thompson closed his eyes. Earth was saved. The cost was terrible. So many good people dead, so many ships destroyed. But Earth was alive. "Sir," message coming in. "It's from Colonel Wright." Wright appeared on screen. His face was covered in bandages. Behind him, soldiers cheered. "Thompson, you magnificent bastard. You did it. Earth is free." Thompson smiled for the first time in days. "Not just me, Colonel. All of us. Everyone who flew out here to die for home." He looked at his damaged bridge, at his wounded crew, at the floating debris that had once been human ships. They had won, but victory tasted bitter. "Sir," Brooks said, "long-range scanners show more ships coming. It's the Galactic Council fleet." Thompson's smile disappeared. The perfect aliens were coming now. After the battle was over. After the dying was done. Coming to see what the violent humans had accomplished. "Let them come," Thompson said quietly. "Let them see what happens when someone threatens Earth." The Galactic Council ships emerged from hyperspace like ghosts. 20 perfect vessels, white and gleaming, untouched by war. They moved toward Earth with cold precision. Thompson's battered fleet floated among the wreckage. Dead Krek's ships drifted everywhere. Clouds of debris glittered in Earth's sunlight. The human ships looked like they had been through hell, which they had. "Sir, the Council fleet is requesting immediate communication," Brooks said. Thompson looked around his destroyed bridge. Half his crew was dead. The other half was wounded. Blood stained every surface. The air smelled of smoke and death. "Put them through," he ordered. Chancellor Veltar appeared on screen. His perfect silver and blue feathers were clean and bright. He looked at the destruction around Earth with what might have been curiosity. "Captain Thompson," the Chancellor said, "we have come to assess the situation." "Assess?" Thompson's voice was deadly quiet. "You came to watch the aftermath, after we saved ourselves." The Chancellor's head tilted. "The battle is over. The Kreks are defeated. You have proven your capacity for violence, as we expected." Thompson stood slowly. His ribs hurt where shrapnel had hit him. "Where were you? Where was the mighty Council when billions of humans died?" "We told you," the Chancellor replied. "This was your test. You chose violence over our guidance. Now you must face the consequences." Ambassador Garcia, covered in bandages and fury, stepped forward. "Consequences. We saved our species while you watched." "What consequences?" The Chancellor gestured with one wing. "You have shown that humanity is too dangerous for Council membership. You chose war over peace. You rejected our wisdom." Thompson laughed bitterly. "Your wisdom? You would have let the Kreks kill us all rather than risk getting your pretty ships dirty." "The paths of peace require sacrifice," the Chancellor said coldly. "You proved you are not ready to make those sacrifices." Dr. Hayes moved closer to the screen. His medical uniform was stained with blood from treating wounded crew members. "You call letting genocide happen peace. What kind of peace is that?" "Perfect peace," answered another alien that appeared on screen. It looked like a crystal tree. "Peace without conflict. Peace without violence. That is what the Council represents." Captain Sullivan's voice came from the Vengeance. "And what about justice? What about protecting the innocent?" The Chancellor's eyes gleamed. "Justice is an illusion. Protection leads to conflict. We have learned this over millennia." Thompson felt anger burning in his chest. "Then you've learned nothing. You've become cowards hiding behind your perfect peace." The Council channel went silent for a moment. When the Chancellor spoke again, his voice was different, colder. "By unanimous vote, the Council declares humanity unfit for membership. Forever. You have chosen the path of war. You will walk it alone." "We already have," Thompson replied. "And we'll keep walking it to protect what we love." The Chancellor continued. "Furthermore, humanity is restricted to your own solar system. Any attempt to expand beyond these boundaries will be met with force." Garcia stepped forward, her eyes blazing. "You can't imprison an entire species." "We can," the Chancellor said simply. "And we will. You are too dangerous to be allowed free access to the galaxy." Thompson looked at his crew. They were beaten, bloody, but their eyes still burned with defiance. He thought of all the people who had died defending Earth, all the sacrifices made. "You know what, Chancellor?" Thompson said slowly. "Fine. We'll stay in our solar system, for now. But you've made a mistake." "What mistake?" the Chancellor asked. "You've shown us what you really are. Cowards who call their cowardice peace. When humanity is ready, and we will be ready, we'll take our place in the stars. Not as your pets, but as equals." The Chancellor's feathers ruffled slightly. "You will find the galaxy a cold and lonely place, Captain Thompson." "We'll see," Thompson replied. "We've survived worse than cold and loneliness. We've survived extinction." The Council ships turned away from Earth. As they prepared to leave, the Chancellor spoke one last time. "When you are ready to accept our guidance, we may consider talking again. In a few thousand years, perhaps." Thompson smiled grimly. "Don't hold your breath. Humans learn fast when they're motivated, and you've motivated us very well today. The Council fleet vanished into hyperspace, leaving the humans alone with their victory and their grief. Thompson looked at Earth. The planet was wounded but alive. Cities were rebuilding. People were surviving. That was what mattered. "Sir," Brooks said softly, "what do we do now?" Thompson looked at the wreckage around them, at the blood on their ships, at Earth's damaged surface. Then he smiled. 6 months later, the U.S. Resilience approached the Galactic Council station again. But this time, it wasn't alone. A fleet of human ships followed behind it. 50 vessels in tight formation. These weren't the same ships that had flooded months ago. The humans had rebuilt, upgraded, and modified everything. The Resilience now bristled with weapons taken from destroyed Krek ships. Its hull was patched with black metal that gave it a tough, war-beaten look. Captain Thompson stood on his bridge, watching the alien station grow larger. His crew was different too. Lieutenant Commander Brooks now wore the rank of commander. Dr. Hayes had become the fleet's military advisor. They all bore scars from the battle for Earth. The station's white surface was as perfect as ever. Its lights moved in gentle patterns. Everything looked peaceful and clean. But Thompson knew what lay beneath that perfect surface. "Sir, the station is hailing us," Commander Brooks reported. On screen, Thompson ordered. Chancellor Veltar appeared, just as he had before. His silver feathers were immaculate. His eyes showed mild surprise at seeing the human fleet. "Captain Thompson, you were restricted to your solar system. You violate our agreement." Thompson smiled, but it wasn't a friendly smile. "We never agreed to anything. You gave us an order." "There's a difference." Behind Thompson, General Sam Wright had taken the place of Ambassador Garcia. The old soldier wore a simple uniform, marked with new medals. Earth had promoted him after his defense of the planet. "We've come to deliver a message," Wright said firmly. The Chancellor's head tilted. "What message?" Thompson gestured to someone off-screen. A group of humans entered the bridge. They carried boxes and containers. Inside were gifts, but not the kind humans had brought before. "We brought presents," Thompson explained. "Krek's weapons, Krek's technology, Krek's ship designs, all the things we took when we destroyed their invasion force." Dr. Hayes stepped forward. "We've studied their technology, learned from it, improved it. We thought the Council might be interested." The Chancellor's eyes narrowed. "You collected war trophies. This proves you are still a violent species." "Violent?" Thompson laughed. "Yes, we are. When someone tries to kill us, we kill them back. We make no apology for that." General Wright opened one of the boxes. Inside was a collection of data crystals. The Kreks weren't just random raiders. They had a plan. They were mapping other species' defenses, learning weaknesses. The Chancellor leaned forward slightly. "What are you suggesting?" "They were working for someone," Wright continued. "Someone who wanted information about the galaxy's defenses. Someone who knew the Council wouldn't interfere in internal conflicts." Thompson watched the Chancellor's face. The alien tried to hide it, but there was fear there. "We found records on their ships. Communications, orders. Very interesting reading." Hayes added, "The Kreks weren't expelled from the Council years ago. They were hired by someone with a Council access code." The station went silent. Only the sound of air recycling could be heard. "You're lying," the Chancellor said, but his voice was uncertain. "Are we?" Thompson asked. "Check the data, or better yet, ask yourself this. How did the Kreks know exactly when humans would be at the Council station? How did they know our defenses would be spread thin?" Commander Brooks smiled coldly. "Someone told them. Someone who wanted humanity destroyed before we could join the galaxy." The Chancellor's feathers ruffled. Around him, other Council members had appeared. They whispered among themselves in different languages. Thompson continued, "We know who ordered it, which Council species, which leader, but we're not here for revenge." Then why are you here? The Chancellor asked. Wright stepped closer to the screen. We're here to deliver terms. New terms. Terms. The Chancellor sounded confused. Humanity is taking our place in the galaxy, Thompson declared. Not as your pets. Not under your guidance. As equals, we'll explore, trade, and defend ourselves as we see fit. General Wright added, and if anyone, council or otherwise, threatens human worlds again, they'll learn what the Kreks learned. That humans don't die quietly. The Chancellor started to protest. You cannot just declare. Thompson cut him off. We already have. Earth's fleets are moving out as we speak. We're claiming systems beyond our solar boundary. Try to stop us. The screen showed the human fleet spreading out. Each ship moved to a different heading. They were leaving, scattering across the galaxy. Wait, the Chancellor called. This is not how things are done. There are procedures, protocols. Thompson's smile was sharp. Your protocols failed us, so we'll make our own. As the Resilience turned away from the station,